Importantly, tomorrow tariffs 25% on Canada and 25% on Mexico, and that'll start. So they're going to have a tariff. So what they have to do is build their car plants, frankly, and other things in the United States, in which case they have no tariffs.
Donald Trump confirming steep new tariffs on Canadian and Mexican imports coming in just hours. 12:01 Eastern time to be exact. A lower tariff of 10% on energy will also take effect. Trump has said the tariffs are to force Canada and Mexico to step up their fight to stop fentanyl smuggling into the U.S. But today he said that there was no room left for either Mexico or Canada to avoid them. In his first appearance on Saturday Night Live in over a decade, actor Mike Myers made his allegiance to Canada known. Sarah Galashan is following this story, joins us now, and Myers had a very clear message on Saturday's show. You couldn't miss it.
You couldn't miss it. There it is right there. That's a freeze grab of it because it does go by pretty quickly here, but this is at the end of the show. He had made an appearance, and so many people excited to see Mike Myers. He's originally from Scarborough, Ontario, back on SNL, famous for so many characters. And in this case, he opened the show with a funny portrayal of Elon Musk. But at the end, as they're all doing their curtain call and waving to the fans, he opens the vest that he's wearing to show a T-shirt that has a Canadian flag. And just very quickly, it says, "Canada is not for sale." Small gesture, I think it had a big impact. If you look online to all this video, it's only positive reaction that you're seeing, both from American and Canadian fans. Really happy about it.
Yeah, so I didn't stick around for the end of the show in front of my television, but I saw that image, the photo, so many times the next day. That's when I said you couldn't miss it. It seemed to be everywhere on my phone. So he's made his support of Canada at this critical time very visible, but not every prominent Canadian has been as visible.
Yeah, no, there's been a lot of heat taken by hockey legend Wayne Gretzky, who is a huge hero in the country. He's been criticized for not doing what some of the hockey fans feel he should have, which is be more patriotic, but also voice his support for Canada. As his friend Donald Trump continues to call Canada 51st state and make derogatory comments about the Prime Minister. And Donald Trump actually has gone so far as to sort of release him from their friendship, to declare him being a free agent, and Canadians shouldn't think less of him for that. Then you have King Charles, who is head of state for Canada and also has been silent on this. But I was looking into UK media. He did meet with the Prime Minister today, and Trudeau did sort of give indications that the U.S. threats and talk of 51st state was possibly going to be something they were talking about. I mean, that was a lot of speculation. But the thing about the King is that he's supposed to remain politically neutral, can provide some kind of advice to politicians, say that Prime Minister of the UK, who actually did in the House in the UK offer a verbal statement about the strength of Canada on the world stage and Canada's commitment to global security, specifically toward Ukraine. Take a listen to that.
I spoke at length with the Canadian Prime Minister yesterday because we had a bilateral meeting as well as the meeting with other colleagues, in which I was able to assure him of our strong support for Canada, a close ally of ours, a strong supporter of Ukraine, and Canada have led the way on the training that's been so vital to Ukraine. So they were very welcome at the table yesterday.
Okay, so I wouldn't ask you this highly opinionated question unless I knew you were willing to answer it. Sure. What other Canadians would you like to hear, or could you imagine speaking out here?
Listen, I went down the rabbit hole on this today. Had a bit of time. I was like, I just started typing in names and 51st state, or and you know, tariffs, and who has weighed in, and who's getting a lot of support or not. You know, we had Chantal Kreviazuk. She changed the lyrics to the Canadian anthem at that hockey game, and that got a lot of support from some, and that can be controversial at times. Pamela Anderson actually was on Jimmy Kimmel and was just, she didn't actually come out and offer it, but she was asked about it, and she just said, nobody wants that. That's not a popular option. The one that I weigh in on this if you found it and I didn't, but Ryan Reynolds, and I'm not trying to call him out here, but I didn't see anything from him or Michael J. Fox, and I kind of thought you might see it from them, but...
I mean, Ryan Reynolds has a few things that he's handling in terms of one thing in particular.
That's true.
In terms of controversy, but Deadpool could come out in his character.
And you know, it is, though, do you really want, I mean, if you're not already embroiled in it, do you want to bring that controversy onto yourself? And also, you think about it, if you're a celebrity and Donald Trump likes you and then doesn't like what you're saying, you could just add more to this fire, and it might not actually work in anyone's favor.
Although it brings us full circle, Mike Myers seemed to just nail it, right?
Yeah. And it was so great to see him on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, Sarah, thank you very much.
Yeah.